So France against Argentina. It is one of the most mouth-watering of international fixtures. 3 World Cup triumphs between them. But so far progress has been far from serene towards the next tournament in South Africa. Tonight it's all about gathering momentum. But it is a wonderful occasion featuring some of the premier names on the planet. Bakary Sagna, one of the less experienced names in the French side, winning only his 7th cap this evening, the Arsenal man. He's got the nod ahead of Rod Fanny, who was in the right-back role in their last friendly against Uruguay, a disappointing draw. And Honda also returning tonight, up towards Anelka. Battle on with Demichelis first of all. Met 10 times before these two nations. The French have only won 2 of them. In Argentina in 1971, a 4-3 thriller on that occasion. Yuri Djorkaeff's father among the goal scorers. And a 2-0 win in Paris just before the 1986 World Cup, which of course Argentina won. In towards Anelka, the first threat comes from France. Gourcuff with a delightfully flighted ball. But Anelka unable to reach it. Well, he sees France as a team capable of reaching at least a World Cup quarter-final in South Africa next year, and he's told his players to treat this as a match of that importance. Argentina currently 3rd in their qualifying section in South America. That's a marathon. And they've won only 1 of their last 7 qualifiers. Fernando Gago, Mascherano, and here's Demichelis. Zanetti, who goes on and on. Gago. We met a couple of years ago, around this time of year. Javier Saviola with a winning goal for Argentina on that occasion. Emiliano Papa, who's in exalted company tonight, winning only his 2nd cap for his country, having started the game at Hampden Park against Scotland. Here's Gago. Jonas Gutierrez. First chance to witness the sublime skills of Lionel Messi, and we thought we would never see the chance again in a friendly international, but we can't turn down Diego Maradona, that's for sure. They have reached an informal agreement, the AFA and Barcelona, in the wake of that legal battle following his appearance at the Olympic Games in Beijing. Well, hello phenomenon, that was how Messi was greeted by his international manager when he arrived at training. Given his exploits so far with club and country, he could well prove to be the heir to Maradona's throne indeed. The quote was a simple one in his press conference the other day from Diego: "He could do as well as me." Every player on the planet would settle for, well, a 10th of his achievements. Anelka, his club have changed managers in the last 24 hours or so, with Guus Hiddink confirmed as temporarily at least in charge of Chelsea to the end of the season. Here's Messi. Gago. Barcelona finding Real Madrid. Mascherano. Maradona's choice of captain. This is Papa. First chance for Franck Ribéry. It didn't last for long. Messi in the duel there with Lassana Diarra. Another Barcelona-Real Madrid contest. Papa. Ribery. Well, a lot of eyes looking towards Yoann Gourcuff as the creative force for the French tonight. He's had to go backwards to come forwards, if you like, on loan this season at Bordeaux from Milan. A move which hasn't fully worked out for him as yet. Free kick in Argentina's favour, given against Diarra again. Well, what's he pondering here? Toulalon and Diarra forming the wall. It is Messi to lift it in, but Mandanda, confident keeper at the moment. Looking very much as though he has established himself as the #1 choice for Raymond Domenech, despite the competition of Hugo Lloris. Diarra shutting the door. This is Toulalon. Gourcuff. Well, Anelka felled, this time by Gabi Heinze. Much talk that he could be returning to French soil on a more permanent basis. Former Paris Saint-Germain player, Gabi Heinze, and talk of return to the Parc des Princes, which he didn't fully dismiss, it has to be said. Ribery. Oh, flash of brilliance from him, but nothing to unduly worry Juan Pablo Carrizo. Well, so much talent out there, and Franck Ribery the first to shine, returning to a familiar stage, the Velodrome. Zanetti. Oh, beautiful play from Messi. And William Gallas across to deal with his not inconsiderable threat. Good work here too by Javier Zanetti. The most enduring of the stars on show tonight. And Gourcuff in the right place for the French. I've not often played games here at the Stade Velodrome, the French. As we look again at Ribery's burst of brilliance, you have to wonder why, because it is one of the more intimidatory atmospheres in French football. 3 defeats in the previous 12 matches here, or they had to go back to 1960 to find one. Agüero. Chance for Jeremy Toulalon. One of only 3 based French clubs in the starting lineup. Mandanda, the goalkeeper. Gourcuff, although temporarily on loan, of course, with Bordeaux from Milan, and Toulalon with Lyon, Mandanda with Marseille. Henry, the first time we've seen him, and it's quite an introduction. Lovely play, Sagna, always keen to join in with the attack. Toulalon. Gourcuff trying to keep it alive here. Abidal providing an overlap for him. And some problems here for Zanetti. Abidal bit and bit, but bit a little too hard. And some lovely build-up play we saw. No real killer thrust at the end of it. This is Abidal. Ribéry. Story in L'Équipe today about the possibility of Ribéry making the move to the Bernabeu. Real Madrid reportedly having made contact with Bayern Munich. Paul Breitner was effusive in his praise. It's a dangerous one towards Anelka. And Henry! Well, ambitious, but certainly not beyond his capabilities. Ribéry again involved. Demichelis's clearing header meeting the cross of his club colleague. And Henry trying to hit it on the volley, but not finding the accuracy. And it's certainly the French who have started the brighter for all Messi's magical gifts. Certainly look the more threatening. Here's Gourcuff. Ribéry. Gargo in the end will pick up the pieces. Mascherano with one of those typical midfield challenges, but Toulalan showing similar industry himself. Henry. Oh. We're really trying to turn it on, and as much as the French hoped they would get a corner, the referee not obliging. But some extravagant touches from Thierry Henry, and Anelka felt that Demichelis got the final piece of that. Jean-Marc Ferreri and Philippe Vercruysse, the two goal scorers the last time the French beat Argentina, 23 years ago now. Diego Maradona in the Argentinian side, defeated at the Parc des Princes. French looking like they want to make up for lost time at the start of this match. This is Gargo. Messi is the target. Oh, what? Potentially dangerous ball if someone had attacked the near post, but Mandanda able to claim it. Gallas may have got a piece on it in the end. Well, that's fallen for Gutierrez. And Mexes with the challenge. I think it was in the end off Gutierrez. Well, Maradona, he could easily have taken up permanent residence at the Stade Velodrome. He revealed this week that he had agreed to join Bernard Tapie's Marseille 20 years ago. Napoli and Diego signed a contract, 60 million francs the transfer fee, less than 10 million euros now. Napoli changed their minds and Tapie agreed to quash the deal and sign Chris Waddle instead, which is probably the biggest compliment the Geordie winger could ever have had. Well, collective wince goes around the world of football when Messi ends up on the deck. Gabi Heinze also with a rather inglorious landing. And in those 35 caps so far, he's got 10 goals, but his prodigious tally for club this season means that he's threatening to equal the exploits of a certain Cristiano Ronaldo. What he achieved last season with Manchester United, 25 in all competitions so far. And we're only in February. Diarra. Here's Ribéry. He's certainly outshone Mr. Messi so far. Gourcuff's ball dealt with reasonably comfortably in the end. Agüero. Always a worrying sight, Agüero and Messi bearing down on a defence. It's Messi who's in! And it's William Gallas who has come to the rescue of the French. An exhilarating break from Argentina. And the outstretched boot of William Gallas saved Mandanda from action. Met by Henry. Well, you can never switch off when he's around. Demichelis. Emiliano Papa to Gargo. Mascherano being hassled by Anelka and by Gourcuff. Sagna there for the French. And Papa, his challenge unwelcome. From Ribéry. I don't think there was too much denying that was a free kick, but Aguero and Messi, such menace they pose, and Aguero certainly helped distract one or two of the French defenders, open up a little hole for Messi. Gourcuff trying to find a route through. Toulon with a tigerish challenge, and Fernando Gargo less than happy with it. And you can understand why. Initially led with the left foot, and trailing leg then swept him away, and it's that rare thing, a yellow card in a friendly match. This time the free kick goes against Papa. Thierry Henry too short of the magical 50 mark in international football. Already the record French goal scorer, having taken that mark from Michel Platini. Sagna. Persistence, having lost his footing initially. But Henry, with 2 more goals, could join a select band of international footballers. 26 men have scored 50 or more goals for their countries, from Bashar Abdullah of Kuwait, Kyatisuk Senamwang of Thailand, to Gerd Müller, Ferenc Puskás and Pele. Surprisingly, perhaps Diego Maradona not on that list. Managed 34 in Argentina colours. Well, not a huge amount of room for Sergio Aguero to work within. Well, I dreamed watching him play. That's what Raymond Domenech said of Diego Maradona. Also said he's a young coach and I'd be happy to bring him my experience, with a little cheeky grin, it must be said. Diarra grafting, Gourcuff, Ribéry. There's only Anelka at the heart of the action in the penalty area, waiting for the Bayern Munich man's cross. Ribéry fighting a losing battle there. Sagna, one of the unsung heroes really for Arsenal in the last couple of seasons, although they have been short of heroes of late. difficult time for the North London club with their usual place in Europe's elite very much under threat this season. Now Henry. Gourcuff with a return. Demichelis across. Burst and surge away from Maxi Rodriguez. Not seen too much of so far. One of the major creative forces with Atletico Madrid these days. And got that goal at Hampden Park, which ensured Diego Maradona began international management with a victory. Oh, Emiliano Papa with a less than totally assured moment. Ribery robbed. Messi. Ribery retrieving it. Fell for Toulalon. On to Sagna. Diarra. Just overcooked it. The intent applauded. Sana Diarra is going as quickly through clubs as Nicolas Anelka has done throughout his career at the moment. Having played for Chelsea, Arsenal and Portsmouth last season, and now at the Bernabeu. And filling in at the moment for Mamadou Diarra. That's pretty confusing, to the extent that he's had to have Las on the back of his shirt rather than his surname. Gargo. Sagna won it. And the referee Jonas Eriksson a little unhappy with the swinging arm from Jonas Gutierrez of Newcastle United. Mexes with the kick. Assuming Demichelis got a shout from Zanetti. Toulalon. Philippe Mexes, winning only his 12th cap tonight, been an international for nigh on 7 years. Gourcuff pondering his options, and Gutierrez with a block might fall for Anelka. Well, pressure very much on here. And Gargo concedes a corner. Mirza Gabiente came to Argentina's aid there, vitally swiping it away from immediate danger. Into a decent area from Ribery. Strong challenge that by Diarra, but clean as a whistle. Bounced awkwardly for Papa. Might have needed a bit more help than was forthcoming, actually. Free kick given for the challenge on Gutierrez. May have used a bit of his hand there as well, actually, Diarra. Gargo. Rodriguez. Zanetti. Javier Zanetti, 35 years of age now. Extending the record he's already claimed as the Top cap holder for Argentina, 129 he clocks up tonight. Il Trattore, as he's known in Italy, the less than complimentary nickname, the Tractor. Toulalan. Aguero with his club colleague ahead of him there, Maxi Rodriguez, but didn't come through to him. That's forward by Papa. Henry. Toulalan. Gourcuff. Sagna. Promising from the French. An important defensive header this time. It came from Demichelis. Ribery. Well, the searching questions that have been asked have largely come from the French, although there was the one moment of inspiration between Messi and Aguero. Sagna. Fox Mascherano. Ribery. Toulalan. Trying to force it through the eye of a needle there, really, Jeremy Toulalan. Well, shame in a way that Gourcuff lost his footing there, but it was a dangerous delivery, and Demichelis rising to meet it. Sergio Aguero, it shouldn't be forgotten. Fathered a child with Janina, Diego's daughter. Well, if ever Sergio and Janina's offspring decide to go into football, there's not going to be any pressure, is there? Imagine having to follow those two. He's been blessed with rich talent himself. Sergio Aguero, who shares the distinction of Diego Maradona of having played league football in Argentina at the age of 15. And despite the exodus of stars to Europe, which is swifter than ever at the moment, it is still a tough environment to learn your trade in. Gourcuff sweeps it on here for Anelka. Well, Carrizo was alert and swiftly out to make the save. But beautifully found there, Nicolas Anelka, by Gourcuff, whose place in this side as the creative fulcrum looks pretty secure after what he's produced in the early stages. There's been a real assurance about his play. Still in the early days of his international career, only winning his 7th cap tonight, but his stock rose with a vital goal against Romania. A little bit of aggro from, a little bit of a discussion there going on with Javier Mascherano, who, let's say, is not slow to make his opinion heard. Jonas Eriksson laying down the law. Well, Mascherano had a little bit of reason to be unhappy with the challenge, but that was all a little unnecessary. Ainsley. Fernando Gago for Argentina. Diarra. Abidal's ball, it's Anelka giving chase. Robbed by Demichelis. Mascherano. Rodriguez. Henri. Anelka. Oh. Well, it was a worry for Carrizo. There's almost a casualness to the way Anelka hit that. Real snapshot. Foul on Sergio Aguero. And all of a sudden, Anelka was having a pop on goal, and it may have taken... Well, it certainly swerved viciously in the end. I thought, from one angle, it may have actually clipped Demichelis, but it was just the swerve. They met twice competitively, France and Argentina have won on both occasions. 1-0 in the first World Cup in 1930. And in 78, a match that Raymond Domenech, I'm sure, will remember well. France had reason to be aggrieved that night. 2-1 defeat in Buenos Aires to Argentina in the 78 World Cup. Michel Platini scoring. Leopoldo Luque with one of the greatest World Cup goals ever seen, a long-range effort. And Daniel Passarella converting a decidedly controversial penalty, given for handball somewhat outrageously against Marius Trésor. Indeed, that night the referee, Mr. Jean Dubac of Switzerland, if you'd added "old" to the end, Dubacle would have been close to describing his performance. Ribéry. Well, so much has come through him so far. I'd say just slipping a little. Carrizo covered it all the way. Gourcuff trying to give Gabe no way out there. Free kick in the French's favour. Fernando Gago showing his displeasure, and certainly passions being raised, although the manager finds it all amusing. Six in and around the penalty area for the French. Gourcuff's delivery. Demichelis in full control of the situation. Well, he's taking his opportunity tonight to shine in exalted company. Naince. Gago rising. Diarra up in the duel this time. London is having a quiet night. Anelka got the flick. Carrizo certainly the busier. Anelka getting the nod tonight ahead of Karim Benzema, who is among a host of substitutes, 6 of which can be used by each side. Benzema, Nasri, the star names on the bench for the French. Tevez, Walter Samuel amongst those waiting in the wings for Argentina. Ribery. Akari Sanya wants a free kick, he'll get it. Ball had long gone by the time Papa made the challenge there, and you can't really argue with the decision. Will it be a little more threatening this time? Well, not a bad range of targets for Yohan Gourcuff here. Saints say this time, Demichelis dealt with the previous one. Diarra. Mexes. A little agricultural, but it might pay off. Henry in pain. Gourcuff. Well, Henry unhappy with the presence of Gabiense's arm. Toulalan. Well, now then. Certainly Gourcuff felt there was a strong case. Well, he might well argue. I mean, Ainsley, it's a real reckless swipe, really. Nowhere near getting the ball, and there's definitely contact. Papa. Now Messi. Oh, beautiful. Papa tees it up, and, well, Javier Mascherano, not a man with a great goal-scoring record at club or international level. Perhaps not the man you wanted on the end of that, but almost arrogant pass there by Messi. Then Papa to tee it up for the shot. And he didn't catch it at all well. But Maradona enjoying the build-up there and encouraging more. We've seen precious little, really, of Argentina's considerable attacking arsenal. The thing is, I mean, you don't have to see a great deal of them, because Messi in particular is capable of making something happen with just one flash of inspiration, as we've seen so many times. Another booking is on its way here. It's been a surprisingly testy contest at times, and William Gallas following Toulalan into the notebook. Well, is a set piece going to be Argentina's best route to an opening? The debate between Messi and Rodriguez, and it is the latter who delivers. It is Mexes who meets it, and Demichelis, who's been so very effective at the other end tonight, was hoping to get his head on the end of it. But it was the Roma centre-back who beat the Bayern Munich man to it. Maxi Rodriguez. Messi trying another route. Papa. Well, might pay dividends still. And Gutierrez warming the hands of Steve Mandanda, who could be forgiven if he'd forgotten he was out there, given how little action he's seen. The importance of a goalkeeper keeping concentration, although it was pretty much straight at him. Well, Aguero giving chase here, and no one looking to shackle him, really. Only Mexes towards Rodriguez. It's Gutierrez. Oh, and he's beaten Mandanda, and Argentina in front. Well, a horrible moment for the goalkeeper, but a great one for Jonas Gutierrez. It's his first international goal, and it has given Argentina a lead, which really, you have to say, they've stolen on the balance of play. Well, a moment he will not forget. Aguero digging out the cross, just shifts it inside Sagna, and the shot through the goalkeeper. Well, actually, give the goalkeeper the benefit, it just bobbled up. He's unfortunate rather than culpable there. And Argentina fortunate to be in front. It's the French who've asked the questions, and it's Henry with a wayward effort. Well, just watch the bobble right in front of the goalkeeper. I mean, you have to have some sympathy for him. Beaten by the bounce. Well, goalkeeper's life is never an easy one, and certainly fingers will be pointed at Mandanda to be beaten on his near post in any situation, really. But it was a horrible bounce for a goalkeeper. Now, really, you have to feel some sympathy for Raymond Domenech. He obviously didn't see that one coming in the stars. And you wouldn't have seen it coming on the basis of the first half. This is Gargo, though, who might make it worse for the French. Papa. Touch from Aguero. Sagna got there first. Messi. Almost balletic at times, isn't he? Lionel Messi. He's got such poise and grace. Even when he loses his footing, he loses it with a gracefulness that mere mortals don't have. Oh, lovely touch again, Gutierrez. Does he fancy another? Back for Messi, who could try and dance his way through. Rodriguez. Oh, and Zanetti with some venom behind it. Safely in the grasp of the goalkeeper. Well, it's put a real dampener on things for the French, who are beginning to get some rhythm together, and it caused some worries for Carrizo. Aguero. It's Papa. Support from Gutierrez. Papa easily robbed by William Gallas. And Mascherano across to do the job that he has done so well. Well, the half draws to a close. So, can the French haul it around in this second half? Did have a good spell in the middle period of that first 45, but couldn't take advantage of it. Carrizo with a few saves to make. Gourcuff at the heart of much of what was good, and Ribéry too, but Jonas Gutierrez with the blow at the moment that does divide the two sides. His strike beating Mondonder at the near post with a rather awkward bounce. Jeremy Toulalon, despite the flecks of grey, still a mere stripling at 25. No Patrick Vieira tonight, who was his partner in that midfield area in the last match against Uruguay, and you would still anticipate would be his partner when it comes to the qualifiers. Who knows? Henry. Diarra. Ribéry. Bakary Sagna. Ribéry again. And now it falls for Sergio Aguero. Gutierrez. I'm sure Gutierrez would have been as distressed as anyone in the Newcastle United camp with the misfortunes of their manager Joe Kinnear at present. Looks like he's going to need heart bypass surgery after being taken ill at the weekend ahead of their match at West Bromwich Albion, which did end in a victory. Much needed victory at that as well, with their problems near the bottom of the Premier League in England. Sherrano and Nicolas Anelka, their problems near the top. Liverpool's to overhaul Manchester United, and Chelsea, well, in a real rut at the moment, but under new management ahead of their trip to Vicarage Road, Watford, in the FA Cup on Saturday. And Goose Hiddink be hoping to have got his feet under the table ahead of that one, although he won't have long to work with many of his stars. Florent Malouda absent from the French squad these days. He's had one or two choice comments to make about the situation as well, which I can't imagine would have helped his cause one bit. Messi. Well, at least Gargo showed the determination to try and win it back. This was an awful initial pass. Well, concern etched on the face of Diego Maradona. It would have been a little painful, that, in all fairness to Gargo. There's no way to treat a teammate, Lassana Diarra. Colleagues should be forgotten at Real Madrid, and I'm sure the apology that is forthcoming from Diarra is a heartfelt one. Well, Argentina have won twice on French soil, and they were both by the current scoreline, 1-0, Javier Saviola 2 years ago, and in 1974, before the World Cup of that year, when Mario Kempes scored the only goal. This is Toulalon. Well, certainly the French bench felt that he was caught there by Messi. Little sly outstretched boot, if indeed it was. It's forward by Zanetti towards Sergio Aguero. Anelka, Henry, Toulalan improvised well there. Sagna, Mexes, seeking out Ribery here, and Maxi Rodriguez had spotted a danger that others hadn't seen. Carrizo came an awful long way there and could easily have ended up embarrassed. Philippe Mexes on the end of it. Well, he's got glowing praise from Argentina's first World Cup winning goalkeeper Ubaldo Fiol, who was the guardian during their victory on home soil in 1978, saying he's the best there is out there as far as Argentinian goalkeepers are concerned. It wasn't a moment for him to remember. Mascherano, went ahead of Henry. Gago, Messi. Diarra. Well, Gago seems to be something of a marked man at present, and it is his club colleague who seems to be dishing out a little of the treatment, in all honesty. Might just be the first offside of the evening. Abidal. Messi. Gourcuff. It's Toulalan, in fact. Well, Gago perhaps letting some of his frustration out there, and Mexes saying his to Penneth he wants a yellow card, which is not a pleasant sight to see. Might be justified, but that's up to the referee. Eric Abidal trying to pour oil on the troubled waters. Well, he was never getting anywhere near the ball, was he? And given that we have seen a couple of yellow cards already in this friendly match, you would have thought that was worthy of one. Sergio Aguero yet to leave his imprint on the match, really. Did combine once with Messi in the first half, which could well have been a combination that ended with devastating effect. Well, it's a little tetchy. But at the moment, the cries of derision from the respective benches are about the biggest noise in this Stade Velodrome. The affair on the field has not risen the spirits in this second half. And yet another free kick for yet another niggly incident. It's good that the competitive edge is there, but it's overshadowing all else at the moment. Borkouf's delivery. Met by the head of Fernando Gago initially, who really is action man at the moment. But here's Agüero for Argentina. Not much doubt that that would end in a free kick. Yeah, a little cynical from Eric Abidal, but it's a foul that he would certainly take, given that he had Agüero running at him, running at his back line, and Messi close at hand, and the possibility of those two running riot, not something he really wanted to contemplate. Gago. Interesting choice of pass there. Mascherano. Beautifully done by Demichelis. Heinze. Gutierrez leaving it for Emiliano Papa. The game yet to find any real rhythm. It's been a bit bitty at the start of the second half. Succession of free kicks for niggly incidents. A little aberration there from Javier Mascherano that could end in further punishment. Ribery. Well, Maxi Rodriguez ensuring it wouldn't in the most cynical fashion. And there can't really be too much argument with that booking. I have to say, I felt Fernando Gago was a little fortunate to escape a moment earlier on. Argentina have dealt with everything he's thrown at them so far. Carrizo coming through the crowd, he did enough. He did enough that time. And this is Gago leading the breakout. Messi, now breaking stride, looking for Agüero. Well, came through the crowd, Carrizo. While William Gallas and Gabi Heinze debated the meaning of life, Lionel Messi was plotting the French downfall, but couldn't quite conjure something. Decidedly no-nonsense bit of defending by Mexes, could actually turn into a decent pass for Ribery. Unwittingly, clearly. Just failed to keep it alive. Now fall for Henry. To Lalonde, the direct approach. Anelka used his strength well, but the slightly slick top of the surface is not making life easy at times. Maybe Mandanda will have a few things to say about that, given the manner of the goal which divides the sides here. Should know it well enough, of course, being a Marseille player. Here's a former Marseille man, Ribery. Stooping on that occasion. This is Papa. Foul by Henry. Gutierrez. Well, Gargo hoping to get on the end of that little surge. Away by Demichelis. Put maybe a little high by Henry there on Javier Zanetti. This is Gutierrez, and the first little flash of what Sergio Aguero is capable of, bursting between two French players, Diarra and Mexes trailing in his wake. Here's Ribéry. Well, he wants a free kick there against Javier Zanetti, and he's got it. Well, the old hand Zanetti just using his old hand, if you like, just to fend him off. He felt it was soft, clearly. Well, a little dink into the near post, maybe the thing in order here for Gourcuff. Certainly didn't try that. Henry, well, his body language made it pretty clear what he thought of that. I'm sure he wasn't going for goal, but as it is, it does turn into something of a waste. Right, Demichelis had taken a real shine to Nicolas Anelka there. Ribéry. That's Zanetti. Gargo was robbed by Toulalan in the end. Bakary Sagna unable to catch that. Well, neither coach has opted as yet to make changes, with the possibility of adding a little sprinkling of something extra from the bench. Carlos Tevez perhaps. As far as Diego Maradona is concerned, Ezequiel Lavezzi of Napoli as well, who he used from the start against Scotland. Germain Denise, his club colleague. Or even Angel Di Maria of Benfica, the hero of the Olympic final. From France's point of view, Jimmy Briand, Karim Benzema, Samir Nasri, all possibilities. It's the home side's need that is the greater. Toulalan. Oh, 4 here for Sagna. 2 in the box. Oh, Anelka let it run, intended for Henry. And Gourcuff not able to come close to finding the target. Well, bang on cue, Karim Benzema preparing to come on. Outstretched boot of Javier Zanetti, important there for Argentina. The question is, I presume it will be Anelka who Benzema replaces. It's on the score sheet again for Lyon at the weekend against Nice. Demichelis. Philippe Mexes. Diarra loses out, but it'll be a free kick. And now the pause for the change. Well, it's fairly predictable, but it's Nicolas Anelka who makes the trudge to the sidelines. It was going to be a straight fight between him and Karim Benzema as to who would get the starting berth. It was Anelka who won that battle, but it's Benzema who will end the game. Not afforded the warmest of welcomes. I don't like Lyon much around here. Ribéry almost in. Argentina still having the bulk of the possession. But the French have fashioned 3 efforts on goal in this second half, none of which are hugely memorable, it has to be said. Now Toulalong face a battle to get on the end of his own header. Ainsley. Papa. Aguero had showed for it. Oh, beautiful play. Well, a terrific little cameo there from Sergio Aguero. It has to be said, has been restricted to that tonight rather than a starring role. Another great talent. I mean, you would have thought that Atletico Madrid would miss Fernando Torres terribly when he left the club, but with the goals he and Diego Forlan between them have provided, that certainly hasn't been the case. Gutierrez, at the moment, the match winner. Diarra. Oh, he sold Abidal a little short there. And Messi dumped to the ground. At least it was Diarra. Abidal was joking in the press conference that he was relishing the battle with Messi, but he said yesterday he reckons Barcelona would cancel his contract if he hurt him. Real Madrid man relieving him of that possibility. Messi's delivery, Mandanda got plenty of distance on it, and won't be tested by the follow-up effort. Well, Gabi Ainse looking to cause a problem for the Marseille goalkeeper, and it came out to Maxi Rodriguez. Well, closer than it looked. Benzema. Well, Gourcuff doing his utmost to keep that one alive. Supporters enjoying the referee making acquaintance with the Stade Velodrome turf. Demichelis. Gutierrez making the burst. Well, Karim Benzema with an extravagant touch, which Johan Gourcuff almost made something of. We'll talk about Ribéry as a possibility for Real Madrid. Well, certainly Benzema has been talked of as a player of that calibre, and he himself has mentioned that he wouldn't be too displeased if that's where he ended up. No, you never lose it. Could really do with him out there on the field, in all honesty, at the moment. The prospect, though, with people like him on the field, that we can see some real inspiration. Aguero holding on to it. Just found that blue wall too difficult an obstacle to overcome, but terrific feat to even get close to getting past. William Gallas shutting the door. Messi. Nargo letting it slip from his clutches. Gourcuff. Well, Gargo was always favourite there. Cleaner challenge than some we've seen before. Toulalong. Oh. Lionel Messi getting the free kick. Tried a little outrageous bit of acrobatics in the middle of all that. Mascherano. Ainze. Mascherano. Demichelis. Messi. Kept his feet quite magnificently. Papa to turn it on. Gutierrez, who's continued his run, Papa. That might even have been Argentina's best attack of the half. Messi with tremendous balance there. In towards Ainze. Mexes to tow it away. Demichelis clashing with Benzema, as they did in the UEFA Champions League recently. Lyon and Bayern Munich drawn in the same group. Terrific contest in the Stade Gélant when Bayern went 3 up. Lyon staged a stirring comeback, but only managed 2 goals in response. Benzema with one of those. Abidal chasing back. Oh, Gargo stealing in. Maxi Rodriguez. Ribery. Benzema. Bakary Sagna on his bike down the flank. Not a delivery which would have given much hope to the men ahead of him. Aguero, well, he's being hassled illegally there by Jérémy Toulalan. Well, pleasing and in keeping with Raymond Domenech's philosophy ahead of this game, that it hasn't turned into a procession of substitutions in this second half. Diego Maradona talking before that they should treat it as though it is a match of high importance, and in that respect they have, and perhaps that has inhibited one or two out there. It's not quite had the tension of an occasion of that magnitude, but it has at times displayed the caution. Gourcuff. Well, he's run up a bit of a blind alley in the end. Toulalan putting himself about, and that paid off. Product of the Nantes Academy, Jérémy Toulalan, which has produced some real talent down the years. Like Atalanta and Parma in Italy, and I suppose at the moment Manchester City in England, for all their riches, their academy has been a rich seam as far as first teamers is concerned. Well, Henry believes he certainly felt that from Javier Mascherano. There wasn't an awful amount in it. Toulalan. Well, do the French have the resolve Do they have the invention? Because that's the situation at the moment. And Argentina scarcely troubled in this second half. Heinze won it. Made sure he won it. Mascherano. Good play by Papa. Toulon with a typically robust challenge, a man on a yellow card. Well, another attempted raid fizzles out. Argentina yet to make a change. Wonder if we will see a brief cameo from Carlos Tevez. Mentioned France's potentially pivotal double-header with Lithuania that is to come. Argentina have Venezuela at home in their next qualifier, then a trip to Bolivia, which they won't enjoy one bit. The altitude is the biggest advantage the Bolivians possess. Well, Argentina plotting changes. That's Zanetti. Oh, Maxi Rodriguez looking round forlornly, hoping for a decision in his favour there. Lassana Diarra with a challenge that had a bit of bite. Mini Madrid derby there. Heinze. Gutierrez. He looks set to join Javier Saviola and Mario Kempes as Argentinians who've scored winning goals for their country on French soil. Something Diego Maradona didn't manage. Indeed, he was beaten on his only visit in the international fold. Mentioned that victory, 2-0. Jean-Marc Ferreri and Philippe Vercruysse before the '86 World Cup, a tournament which cemented Maradona's reputation. And that's how long it is since the French have enjoyed an occasion against the Argentinians. Mandanda will not enjoy reliving the moment which led to that goal. In towards Henry. Benzema. Diarra. Sagna. Toulon. I didn't really give Toulon much of a hope there. A little bit of a slack pass from Lassana Diarra. Now then, that was certainly an ambitious switch of play. Gargo intending to find Maxi Rodriguez. Henry. Diarra. Oh, Ribéry in behind here. No, he's crying out for a bit of support here. It's provided by Bakary Sagna. 5 in the area for France, but so too is Maxi Rodriguez. Well, Ribéry just ghosting in behind the Argentinian defence for a moment. Well, change is on its way. Well, more than one. We are going to see Carlos Tevez. And something of a new face, Marcos Angeleri, who is going to make his international debut here. He is one of the home-based players with Estudiantes. So Maxi Rodriguez off. Angeleri, who can fulfill the role of right-sided midfielder, but often as not he's a full-back. Goes by the less than flattering nickname of Gordo, which means fat guy. That's how he's known by the Argentinian press. Sergio Aguero. Well, his evening comes to a slightly premature end. And Carlos Tevez getting an opportunity in the closing stages. Well, Maradona obviously enjoyed Maxi Rodriguez's contribution. There was a winning contribution at hand, and he got the only goal in Diego Maradona's first international in charge. 1-0 at the moment in his second, but well, Gourcuff hoping to feed Ribéry and give France prospect of changing that. And one for Aguero as well, so there's no favouritism there. Away by Demichelis. Diarra. And falls for Messi, and now Tevez. Well, this is really menacing. Oh, it's beautiful! Oh, it is simply stunning from Lionel Messi. Well, Carlos Tevez making an instant impact off the bench, but it is Lionel Messi who finishes with a flourish and finishes off France and ensures that Diego Maradona has a second victory in his second match in charge of Argentina. The French will be disappointed that it comes from their own corner, but Diarra loose in possession, and didn't Tevez and then Messi make him pay. Well, do you ask a question about the goalkeeper again? I don't know, but Messi, recalled to the stage, has delivered on the stage. Well, the French were in the ascendancy in that moment, at least, having won themselves a corner and the possibility of inflicting damage on Argentina, but they could make absolutely nothing of it. And Argentina, didn't they just take advantage of that situation? Devastating counter-attack. Now Bakary Sagna hoping to help France towards a crumb of consolation in the latter stages. Oh, Messi giving chase again. Messi. Robbed by Toulalon, he felt he was fouled. Gargo to win it back. Tevez. He has that look of a warrior about him. Well, the travelling support, some of which haven't had to travel that far, enjoying themselves now. Ribéry. Ancelotti. Messi. He was given a gift there by Abidal, his club teammate. Tevez. Crowded out, but while the battle was won, the war was not. Papa. Mascherano. Ancelotti losing out. Well, Diarra culpable in what led to the goal, but Messi involved at the start and involved once again at the finish, shifting it onto his left foot, leaving the defender for dead, and it was an emphatic finish. But here's Benzema. Gallas. Well, Argentina had won only 3 of their previous 10 matches. Only one of those a competitive victory against Uruguay, when it was Agüero and Messi on the score sheet. But it seems that Diego Maradona, although you have to say it is very early days and haven't seen them in competitive action yet, has seemed to prove a catalyst for an upturn in fortunes. The ultimate tests are ahead. Tevez, Ancelotti. Can he win his team a corner? Certainly did. Well, he didn't take long to make an impression, did he, Carlos Tevez? And it's been a night of despair for Mandanda, who's facing fierce competition from Hugo Lloris for the goalkeeper's jersey. Indeed, Lloris just voted Ligue 1's best goalkeeper by his fellow professionals. Tevez, Messi. Well, Messi has been afforded a lot of room. In the dying embers of the match in the Stade Velodrome. Tevez. Well, heir to the throne. Gargo. Ancelotti. Messi. magic in the boots of Lionel Messi. And their situation is not as dire as that of the French in terms of qualification. Third place, where they currently lie in the group after their recent defeat against Chile, would be enough to see them to the finals in South Africa. Third, as France are in their European Group 7 behind Serbia and Lithuania, certainly would not be. In steps Diarra. Mascherano. Angeleri. Glance at the watch from Jonas Eriksson. Henry. Benzema. Well, inadvertently could have put his team under pressure. Messi felled. Well, I don't know what he's going to be like when he reaches his peak. Only 21 at the moment, Lionel Messi. That is an awesome prospect. Well, it's another Argentinian victory under Diego Maradona. Deep disappointment for Dominic, but delight for Diego. A goal in each half. Jonas Gutierrez beating Mandanda at his near post to give them the lead 4 minutes.